Hey guys, Colby here, back with another Diablo 4 video. I wanted to bring you a farming spot that is, I would say, ideal if you're running in a group of 2 or just solo. I know the Champion's Demise is much better if you got a full group of 4 people. Much easier to go in 3 lanes and clear, get a lot of XP and also legendaries. But if you are a person that only has, let's say, one friend that you play more with or just solo, then this spot I would say is the best for you. That being said, in Diablo, in general, in Diablo games, the ideal farming spot really doesn't exist. There's efficiency and all that, but not all players are looking for efficiency. I know that. There's no specific spot to actively farm legendaries. And with Diablo 4 having the renown system as well, I would say maybe focus on that if you are more of a casual player, instead of going into the repetitive route of doing one dungeon over and over and over again just to be more efficient for XP. We are in the dungeon. It's called Ruins of Eridu right here. Let me show you the map. It's in the bottom right, actually, right here, close to this waypoint called Virus, and then you reach the Ruins of Eridu right there. It's very quick with your mount to get in here, and honestly the grind within this dungeon is very quick as well. It's just 2 circles. You go around the 2 circles and you get it done. There's about 2 pylons usually, and if there's a cursed pylon, I would say maybe avoid it because it's very slow in the enemies coming out, but it's extra XP, so you might as well do it. I would say maybe the rewards are worth it out of the chest in the end. It's all up to you. Let me just show you on how this goes. XP efficiency within this game, it's very different maybe than other games that you might have played ARPGs. If you've never played these games before, then the bigger the enemies are, the more XP you get. The smaller they are, the less XP. So very small spiders don't give as much XP as a big elite, right? The higher levels the enemies are compared to you, the more XP you will get. The lower level they are compared to you, the less XP you'll get. So there is some efficiency. I'll cover some tips in the end of the video for you guys if you're more interested and get into a little bit more depth. But let's get into the farming spot right here, and let me show you. There is slay all enemies in the right side of the screen, so you will be able to see each and every enemy. This is very nice because you have to be aware once you're closing into clearing these 2 circles that you want to kill at least almost every enemy here. The reason that I say this is because there's an ambush right at the end where about 20 enemies are remaining, and the ambush has 3 or 4 elites. So that's an added, good amount of experience where you just don't do anything extra than just killing stuff. So have that in mind and kill everything that you see on the screen. Things will be chasing you in this dungeon because it's so small. So have that in mind, and it is a little bit dangerous. So have some sort of defensive mechanic ready to go if you are somebody that has an issue. So there's the 1 legendary there. I'll pick it up later once we finish the run. On average, I found I get about a legendary per run when I'm lucky. Sometimes I would get 2, but it's honestly all RNG. There's no specific spot to farm legendaries in this game. Even when you see a YouTube video saying that, it doesn't work like that. It's all random. I mean, you can kill 10 enemies and get 10 legendaries if you are that lucky. So yeah, these enemies I hate the most. And oh, I didn't check my experience at the start of the run. But as I said, you get about 500,000 per run, and you see the density of elites right here. You might want to compare it to Champion's Demise, but this is very nice for when you are soloing. So I want to get this close to... and you'll see the enemies remaining, and that's where the ambush will happen. So yeah, the ambush happened right now. Boom, there it is. There's every single one of the ambushed enemies. It's actually 1 elite there, 1 elite there, and then 1 elite there. So 3 elites in total. And once you kill all those, you get an announcement. Right now, I could actually just exit because it's only small enemies on the map and the 1 legendary that I have there. So this is the farming spot, guys. It's very quick. You can see the pylons there, the shrines, and you can get some extra XP. You don't need to finish the event to clear it out. You don't continue after this. What you want to do is leave dungeon right there with the wheel button, and then log out if you are solo. That's how you reset the dungeon. And unfortunately, this way you cannot use elixirs, but I mean, 5% XP, losing that with every logout, it's not worth it. And sometimes there's enemies that right here in the entrance, so be careful while going AFK here, because you might you might die. So you click leave game, and that's how you reset the dungeon. You enter back in, and once you enter, you'll be right outside the entrance, and the dungeon will have reset. If you are in a party, as I said at the start, it's much easier. You just leave the party and make a new party, and that is how you reset the dungeon way quicker. And you can use elixirs with that. You get multiple times the experience boost compared to what you're doing right here. So in terms of experience, I said I was going to cover a few tips at the end of the video. So if you stayed here, thank you so much. Consider subscribing as well. It really will help the channel out. So in Diablo 4, the experience varies differently. There is some spots where it can give you some limited amount of XP, and those are called campfires. The only one I know of right now that can give you that stacking boost in campfires is from the Legion event that happens in the map. It is a timed event that goes on, so you have to be a couple of minutes early there to stack up that campfire XP, and that only lasts for about 2 minutes for the Legion event, right? So have that in mind. And then you get extra boost from elixirs. We all know that, for half an hour. You get extra boost if there's at least one player nearby, and a 10% boost if you are in a party. That's why party XP boost is so much better compared to playing solo. I mean, the efficiency is there, and everybody clearing within a dungeon shares the XP. It's so much better. And then of course the world tier XP scales up as you get into world tier 4. That's why everybody is farming world tier 4, the people who are trying to maximize their XP potential. And then the enemy scaling, I mentioned that at the start of the video. The most amount of XP that you can get is 3 or more levels. So ideally you should be farming enemies 3 levels higher than you. So I'm 77, I should be farming enemies that are level 80 to have that 25% extra XP boost. Of course, if you find that difficult to farm, all right, if you find it very difficult to farm 3 enemies or higher, even if it's 10 levels higher than you, the cap is 25% more XP. But it doesn't work the other way around. So if the enemies are lower level than you, let's say 10 levels than you, this gets much worse, with almost getting 0 XP out of this. So there's no end to the diminishing returns of lower level enemies against you. So have that in mind, and be mindful of where you are farming and how more efficient you can be when you're farming. So let's say when you are doing hell tides, the enemies are always higher levels than you. So that is a good place to farm XP in the outside world. And also what I've mentioned before is that the elites drop more XP than other enemies. The stronger the enemy, so the higher the levels, the bigger HP they have, the larger their size, the more damage they do, they give more XP. So there's a weight in there on how much XP you can get. And obviously as you level up, the levels become more difficult and more difficult to be acquired. This is not as you were leveling up, where you would get a level per 10 minutes or so, all the way to level 50. It was very quick to level up, but after that it gets more and more difficult, and that is expected, honestly, because it is a big grind. And when you are really efficient in a group, that's only when you can reach the maximum level very quickly. So that being said, guys, this was the video. I know I covered something different here at the last part of the video, which was the efficiency in terms of XP. If you did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing. I will be doing more Diablo 4 videos for this channel. Thank you all, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.